So the third world nations which don't have copper or copper wires can still produce the same kind of energy. The question. I think I'm going to go back to school. My writing is very bad.
Hi, Mr. Keshe. Good morning. Ludmila is here.
Is there any question?
Can you hear me?
Not quite loud
Lodman
enough.
is back again. Good morning, Lodman.
Yes. Hi, good morning. I have
You decided to come back. You spend enough time with the strangers.
I have been always here. I don't know what you are talking about.
Ask your question.
Um, when you make the coils, if you insulate them with, let's say, shrink tubing, not to
Pardon?
touch it.
Can you
When you
repeat?
make the coils, can you insulate them with shrink tubing, not to touch each other, or that's not
What?
enough?
Why do you want to insulate them? Nanomaterials are the best insulators man ever known. Nanomaterials are the best. We don't even know when we tested the nanomaterials in Ghent University and when it was done by the Belgium Nuclear Center. It's better insulated than diamond, 20 megawatt ohm. You can't find even that in diamond. Why do you need to insulate it? Don't forget, you rely on the interaction of magnetic fields. And up to now, human race has not found any material which can insulate magnetic gravitational fields. Because the fields flow between the nanomaterials. It's not a current isolation that you can insulate it. Pardon? You can't have a spark. It's a DC. If you overload your systems, what you're going to create is the short circuit in the matter side. You will have a short circuit here in the copper wires, but you find out your nanomaterials will start growing after a few hours and carry on. There is no possibility of the short circuit. The only short circuit comes when, as I said, when your nanomaterials here, for example, come in touch with the wires. The wires which you wind around it from to supply to your main, or on the other end when you connect it, when it goes to your load. Yes. Yeah. I'll give you my microphone. Something is wrong with this one.
How important is it to have the spacing between each wind?
There is no, the spacing between the windings is not so crucial. But what is important is that there is enough gap between the windings that the wire gets fully nano-coated. If it's attached to each other, if you do firing, then you get a homogeneous coating. But with the caustic, if the interface doesn't get fully nano-coated, then you have a problem. There is a process which we developed for our system. Now we're testing is a combination of 3 or 4 different nano-coating at the same time. That's what we do now in the factory. Everything is nano-coated in 3 or 4 different ways to guarantee maximum coating. We open it slightly to be able to guarantee the spacing. You don't need to open it. It has to be compact, that toroidal forces of both magnetic or gravitational field force each other. You'll understand when we come by Thursday, Friday, why.
Some people are asking about the wire size and what would be the disadvantages of a bigger or smaller wire diameter.
What? The size. You
Can
just get a bigger system for no use.
can they use a bigger or smaller size diameter wire, or does it have to be the 14 gauge?
You see, the problem is, we explained to you, these are the part, all these teachings today has to go on the MAGRAPH teaching that people listen and understand. When you go on a thinner wire, all your system at the present time is matter state resistant. You only create heat when you have interaction in a matter side. So when you have a thinner wire, you can never produce enough energy to put pressure on the nanolayers. Impossibilities. The pressure comes in the matter side, the copper itself. In the future systems, we extract the copper, which means the system will be totally matterless state. But at the moment, because of what we're developing, carry on with the copper signature inside. So what happens in the future, only a few months from now, what we do, we make the coil and then we extract the copper. There is a technology you can extract the copper. You have the coil. So there is no possibility of matter state burning out. I have explained this before in the teaching, but a lot of you never understood. So what we do, if you look at this as the copper and this as a nano coating on it, we extract the copper out. Only left is a nanotube in between. So you don't have AC phase. But at the moment, all your system works on AC. We need to keep the copper inside. Our problem is not developing technology for now, is accommodating an interim maybe 2 to 3 years when a lot of people use all these systems, all the grid gets nano-coated, all your system in the house gets nano-coated, and more or less what you can do, in 12 months' time, you can kick this in the bin. You don't need them. Because once you nano-coat and set the system off, you can just throw them in the bin, just put them somewhere aside. Because the system, your wiring in the house, we show you how, becomes a power supply for you at home. We have already seen this. So when you take your winding, when you have all this, there is something, for example, we know for a fact, if you put a charger, a heavy charger, like a battery charger for a drill, at the end of this, you burn your battery charger. Do not use chargers on the end of these systems, especially when you set them initially. After a few weeks, you can try, but because you have an interface, you burn the system. Am I correct, Amr? So do not use systems which has got a charger on it on these systems till you nano-coat your material very slowly. You nano-coat everything in your house. I have a news for you. I was explaining this a couple of days ago. When it comes to your car unit, you nano-coat your car, you will see the rusting will disappear because the car gets nano-coat. Is it happening to your car? Near enough? Started. No more rusting. So now you understand how you can protect your car from rust. So these things we all learn together. One of the things I ask you, or people who want to stop you having the freedom of life with energy and food, they will tell you, is become like us and share your findings with the Keshe Foundation worldwide on the net. Whatever you learn, share with us in which the way we shared with you. I could have banked this for billions and have holidays in the best places in the universe for good. I'm giving it to you free, but use this freedom to create what we're planning to do for world peace. Because when we all have all the energy, everything freely together, there is no need to war. There is no need for wars. And then, as I explained in the teachings recently, if we all can make so many of these units in our spare time and just throw them in the sea, we feed the fishes of free energy. They don't need to eat each other. You do the same with the plants. We do an experiment in our house. We have put a single copper plate, not bigger than this, it's about this size, nano coated like this. We put it in a plastic bag hanging in the swimming pool. We have not seen a single algae in the pool. It's totally clean. The water in it is a sparkling clean. Where when we moved in, it was disaster. And nearly, a lot of you are fell in the pool trying to clean this stupid thing. Now, this thing, make sure I never go inside. Yeah, we hardly ever use chlors. It's just a small piece this size, has a stop creation of algae altogether with what, about 50, 60,000 liters of water plus. So in time, we teach you more what to do. You can disinfect waters by just dropping the material inside and let it be. In the coming days, once the pressure for us, excuse me, I've got a very bad cold. The pressure on us was to stop, at least to start the production of the power unit. Now that we have started it and the power units are in the market, is the release of the units for growth of the ligaments and fingers and toes, which within the next 30 days will be released to the hospitals, at least in Italy and around Europe, where doctors can use the system to place in front of the toe at the point of amputation that can guarantee the growth of the organs, or at least the fingers and toes. These are bodies to come, and we'll see. We'll do more of these blueprint weeks in the coming weeks together. We teach the humanity. These tapes are going to stay on the websites around the world for months and months to come. We've seen the third ambassadorial meeting tape has been watched by hundreds of thousands of people around the world in the past 10 days. Now with this technology, with this teaching, a lot of people who wanted to start factories, now they start planning to build factory, and we encourage you. We cannot build, even contemplating to make 1 million units a month. It's impossible. It is becoming so difficult that we have to go to 3 million, huge investment, but that's only for Italy. The rest of the world, we need over 1 million factories around the world to start producing. All of you who are here to watch, you can produce a handful. We need collectively, as a human race, to start freeing each other from the shackles of energy, not to go against our governments, but to work with our governments to make sure we are okay, that our governments, with us being okay, don't need to waste money. Because when you can feed yourself, when you can look after yourself in a freedom of the correct conduct of using energy, your government doesn't need to invest. Can I help you? Giovanni Lapadula? Yes. You got a consignment? Giovanni, it's okay. It's good. Amazing. Italians are delivering something. Sometimes it happens. We've been waiting for this frame for 2 weeks. Arrive. So you have to realize it's Italy. When you see it arrive, you say, thanks God, doesn't matter what's in it, but at least it arrived. So what you will see is a change. This today we ship the first batch of the goods, and in the no, it doesn't want to work. You lot don't
Just
know
try it
how-
again, Mr. Keshe. That top button needs to be pressed again. That
Okay.
finger needs to be up there. You need to see that finger up in the top corner there.
The finger on the top comes and goes. Okay, it's back again. This week we deliver 1,000 units. Next week we deliver 10,000 units. We build up to 1 million a month in October, in November, December. But this is not enough. We need at least minimum units to be built. Don't forget, it's very unfortunate, and the unfortunate thing is, it is, as I said, 7 billion of human race, and we have another 6 minimum units to be made. Then you see 42 billion units we need to make. Add the car unit on top of it. Another, God knows how many billion. Add the space unit technology which is coming in. None of us can support such a vast evolution in science. Impossibilities. We need at least 30 to 50 companies in Italy alone to be able to meet the demand of this nation. They're not going away. It's gone. So you have to realize we are inviting you, all of you. Maybe we estimated, maybe 1 million of you will make system at home. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. The woman in the house, housewife, cannot do it. The youngsters have no understanding of even how to use a copper, can't do it. The old people who are the most desperate for the energy this winter, they can't do it. They don't have the knowledge. Doesn't matter what to do. It's the responsibility of collectively of all of us who can, who's got the manufacturing power to produce as much as we can, as fast as we can, now that the technology is free. So if you watch this program, if you watch these teachings for the next 5 days, plan, come to us. We can give you the blueprint of everything. The box, the wires, the wiring system, everything can be given to you to develop as fast as possible. We put our price at 800, if I can get it, 800 euro. System is going to cost us around about 200, we presume, with everything else. Out of this, that's 4 units. After all the costs to go, we can put not many, more than 2 million, if you think of it, back in the public in the next 2 or 3 months. Because the people who buy, we have to supply. The people who are giving free has to be supplied. So we need at least 1,000 factories. And we estimate each one employing between something like 3,000 people just to be able to meet the demand of Italy in the next 5 to 10 years. It's huge. If you understand what we know is to come, the food unit is to come. The what do you call it? The medical unit has to be added. The units for your cars needs to be added. Even if you put those four, and there are about 20, 25 million households in Italy, that's 100 million minimum. 100 million, we can produce, even if we do 1 million a month, that's 10 years. Plus all the everything else which comes with the technology. There is no way. We need at least 1,000 factories in Italy within the next 12 months. And then go scale it up to China and India and the rest of it. The employment opportunity is huge. Is as one of the scientists said, we have started a path. We don't even know if all the computer system has to be changed too. Because now we've been dreaming of superconductors. Now we have the superconductors. These materials, superconductors, and the GANs which you collect, you will see, these create a total new opportunity in three-dimensional computers without wiring. Today, we open the book, but it's the beginning of a revolution. Because now people understand how simple it is, and it's not in the hand of few people, it's you who's doing it. So you can imagine in the next 4 or 5 years, you will see GAN systems for the computers which works as fast as the speed of your brain. In the next couple of weeks, I teach you a technology which is for what they call mind control. This technology is very easy. And what you can do, you can think of the removal, you can think of the lift, and the system will lift. We are teaching in the space side of the technology to our students around the world how to create plasma without any physical material. In our present labs, in our present teaching, we don't have any lab because this afternoon we stop for about an hour for lunch. Then we start not talking about the system as it is, blueprint, but if you come to understand the beauty of this, you have to understand what it's going to create, what it's going to bring, and how it's used and created. So next 4 or 5 days, we have opened the door of the plasma technology worldwide. You learn about nanomaterial, you learn about how to make the power unit, and in the afternoon, we only speak about plasma because plasma has to become, and literally has become, if you're here, the only word you need to know about work of the universe, because if you know how to utilize the plasma, you can create food, any material, anywhere in the world, and any medicine you wish anywhere. Last night, Carol and I were sitting and we received the Skype call. I'm not going to mention his name, he's on the line. He said he was jumping up and down, trying because of his condition, and in mixing everything, trying to find a chance for his problem, he managed to create gold. We know who we're talking about, huh? Caroline is whispering it to you in your ear. Because you can mix, you create the right condition. Let me explain to you and then we go for lunch. It's what I call food for your thoughts till this afternoon. Because it gives you a lot. If this thing wants to work, I want a razor. Put back on the top. Yeah, but I want a rubber. Pardon? Ah, good. So, remember one thing. And this is very simple. The sun, I've got my finger back, I've got my pen back. The sun radiates its light across the solar system. It's like love of God. It has no condition. If the gravitational magnetic field interaction with the Earth happens at this position, leads to create of nitrogen at this point. If it goes further, the same field, when it goes weaker because of the distance of interaction, it creates helium. It's the same ray. It depends where, at what strength of another plasma you interact with it. If you understand this, and you can create a plasma here, which is stronger, what would you like this be? Gold or plutonium? Now, production of material is in the hand of the man, not accident of the nature. So now you decide. And this is what we're going to speak about. And this is what we've been teaching this term in Keshe Foundation for Space Technology. You decide you want to be on Earth, or you want to be there, or you like to rob all the banks of their gold, but give it to them freely because you can produce as much as you like. The sick man nearly dying in Dubai 2 weeks ago has created it free in a hotel room. We didn't say any name. A few people know who he is. So thank you very much. It's 1:30 our time here. In 1 hour we come back, and we only teach plasma. If you're not interested to be educated and you're just for finding a way to build a new system, we are back here tomorrow morning for the next step of teaching of how to go to the next step. Because you need to make the coils, you need to nano coat them, get them out by tomorrow. That tomorrow is the next step of connection. The Thursday to Wednesday, we try to do the process of security and safety with the system. And on Thursday, we assemble it. And then on Friday, we all test around the world at the same time. And I feel sorry for those who have to wait till we get them a system, because there is a limit. We need a lot of you, thousands of you around the world to help to produce it.
Mr. Keshe, there's quite a few questions about whether there will be an exact blueprint, an actual instruction blueprint thing available. Is that something that's available now, or maybe at the end of the week, perhaps?
We only release it after Friday.
Okay.
No. If people don't understand, then we have the same problem. Because this teaching of these parts has to go into the section of the section where people can come for answer and questions. This should not go out part of the teaching, should be connected to the manufacturing side, or what you call the customers' question and answers, that they can produce it. I know there are a lot of people who love to make these units to make themselves millionaires, but when you become millionaires, find out one thing: you're worth nothing on this planet because we are leaving soon. You cannot sell greenback to no one in the space. Martians don't know what dollar is, and you cannot sell what I call gold to the planet Zeus because they have better materials than gold. Thank you very much indeed for your time. We'll be back in 60 minutes to understand more about the plasma.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much.
And that'll be open public teaching as well, is that correct?
Yes, all the teachings this week are open to public because public have to understand what plasma is. What they know, they're not afraid of, and they cannot be frightened of by those who want to abuse them. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's the end of the Monday, October 26th morning teaching for the, well, today's teaching. Thank you, everybody, for attending.
Okay, I'm going to end the Zoom meeting, and we'll see everybody back in the afternoon. So we'll take about an hour. So we should see you on in about an hour. Thank you.